Hi, my name is Vanity Mirror in Second Life, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to whatever applies to you. So today I'm going to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind a lot lately, and it's not to say that it really leaves my mind when I'm in Second Life. It's just that I feel like it's gotten a bit overboard lately, and I wanted to kind of touch on it. I am not a this is just one person's opinion, basically, is the point I want to make. I'm not telling people how to think. I'm just explaining my thought process, and hopefully maybe you will, if any of what I say applies to you, maybe you'll think twice before you're doing it again. Maybe you won't. I can't control anybody, nor do I want to, so that's not what this is about. I know a lot of people in Second Life, well, not a lot, like, I know a few people in Second Life that have stores that create content, and they're amazing at it, you know. Everybody is so great at what they do, be it modeling, be it rigging, be it texturing, being, you know, what I do, which is assisting these creators, time management, advertising, you know, whatever it is that you want to dip your toe into in Second Life, you can do it, and you can see if you're great at it. And if you're not, then you try it, and you'll try something else, or you won't, or you'll just chill and you'll hang out and you'll shop and you'll do whatever with the people that you've grown fond of in Second Life, and that's all good. Whatever experience it is that you have when you log on to Second Life, that's you. My thing lately is that, yeah, it's a little annoying when you go out and you want to buy something and you love it, you think it's beautiful, you think it's sexy, you think it's awesome, whatever, and you see it and it doesn't come in the size that you use. And right then and there, you feel like that gives you the right to say something sideways to the creator of that product. Like, bear in mind, there are a lot of people in Second Life, okay? A lot. And not everybody is in this little bubble that some of us are in, where we only know the people that we know, where we never meet, you know, newish people, where the people that we know are, you know, meshed head to toe or close to it. There are some people that log in and they RP and they have the time of their life, and they're still wearing flexi and system everything, and they are happy people exactly like that. And that's for us to leave them like that. That's how they want to roll. It's not for you to say, well, you're such and such an age, so you shouldn't look like that anymore. Maybe they like looking like that. Maybe they don't care. Maybe that has to do with what they RP. Maybe that has to do with what they do in Second Life. Maybe they just don't want to be mesh. It's all good. Mesh comes with its own set of problems. Sometimes it won't res. Sometimes you can't see it. Sometimes it's whatever, you know what I mean? Like, nothing's perfect. So what works for you doesn't have to work for somebody else. It's about you. Your experience is what matters. So just shape your experience and you'll be good. So when I first decided to get a mesh body, and it was not early, like many people already had a Maitreya body or a Slink Physique body, when I finally decided to look into them. Like, I had one before. I had the Wow body, but you know what happened with that happened with that, and I couldn't use it anymore, and it never got, you know, fully supported. So I actually deleted that like sometime last year finally. But so my first choice, because when I bought my Maitreya body, which is what I'm wearing right now, when I bought it, the hourglass was not released yet. So I bought the Maitreya body, and I spent I want to say close to a month on and off, like not consistently obviously, but yeah, like on and off. It was about a month of tinkering with my shape and everything to get it looking the way that I want, because although many Maitreya users are very slim and slender, I like to be curvy. I like to be thick. I'm Latina in real life, and this is how I project. You know, I just want to look like how I look. I always have dark hair, dark eyes. I mean, her eyes are green and my eyes are only green sometimes. My eyes are generally brown in real life, but I mean, you get my drift. Like, it's not, I put clothes on her that I like. I don't go off into, you know, looking for stuff that I wouldn't normally look for. She is, vanity is simply a projection of a virtual Jenny, which is me. So I feel she looks Latina. I have freckles. She has freckles. You know, she has dark long hair. I have dark long hair. You know, she's got a light tan. I have an olive skin tone. Is she exactly like me? No, she's way cuter. I think she's totally hotter. But isn't that how it's supposed to be? You know, you project a little bit extra of that thing that you wish that you had, you know? And I like her. I like how she looks. Everybody doesn't like how she looks. And you know what? That's okay. Some people might look at her and say, you know what? Hey, her thighs are too big. Her butt is too big. You know, her boobs are too small for how big her ass is. Well, that's what I like. I'm sorry I keep sniffling. I have allergies and I have tissues all over my desk, and it's, you know, the struggle is real. So I apologize. I keep doing that. I keep trying to stifle it and it's not working. Back to what I was saying. So vanity is what I like. Vanity is how I like to look. That's me. Pixelated, basically. Do people look like me in real life? No. I live in the Midwest right now, and I'm from the East Coast. You know, there are plenty of Puerto Rican people where I grew up. There's like only the ones I'm related to here right now is the only ones that I've met. That's weird to me, but it's reality right now. You know what I mean? So in the same way, you know, like, you can't just expect everybody to be dressed to the nines because you dared to meet them. Like, people are gonna do what they want to do, and that's okay. It's not your business. I've helped people with their shapes as well. Tweak them here and there. I've even made shapes for a few of my friends with the ability for them to mod them. Because people should be able to do what they want. People should be able to look how they want. If you want to have a 2-inch waist and 50-foot deep thick thighs, that's not really realistic, but you do you. It's whatever. I don't have to dress you, and I imagine that that's hard. Now, in that sense, I want to say, if you want to have your sliders up high, be prepared for everything not being able to fit you. Be prepared for mesh breaking on you. It's gonna happen. Why? Because mesh is not magic. Yeah, it can stretch and it can bend and it can fit to your form to a certain extent. But there comes a time when everything will not bend, but it will break. And you can do that. And depending on the body that you have, you can do it very fast. So, it's gonna happen. Demo everything. It doesn't matter if you bought from them before. Demo everything. And if you don't demo and something doesn't work, you don't get to come out your face. Use a demo. See how it looks before you go and you spend your money, and that way you don't have to cause a commotion. It is what it is, and some people will do updates, and sometimes things happen, and they don't realize that the mesh is broken, and they can do an update and they will fix it, and that is all good. But that doesn't always happen, and sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes the case is just that your boobs are at 80 and this dress won't handle them, and it is what it is. Sometimes it's just that your legs are at 100 and you don't want to use the alpha. Well, then yeah, it's gonna poke through, and you know what? Not the creator's fault. The alpha HUDs are there for a reason, and everybody that thinks that they're just like a fix-it for people that don't know how to properly rig, need you to take several seats, because that's not even the case. They are used in conjunction with rigging and sizes, and it all works together to bring you a perfect fit. Sometimes you will use the alpha HUD, sometimes you won't. The sheer things, of course, you can't use the alpha HUD, so obviously it's got to fit a certain way. But everything else, siéntate por favor. So, and while we're on the subject of that, it's, you know, when you don't do what these people do, and you come out your face, and then somebody has to tell you how it really is, I mean, it's just not a good look. I would really recommend that people just not go off on a tangent about something that they're not necessarily familiar with. Just because somebody told you that one time that if somebody uses an alpha HUD, then they're just cheating. It's not in the Bible. It's not like written in stone, and you know, whatever, you know, it's just one person's opinion. It's incorrect, but it's one person's opinion. And then you want to throw out like, oh, but this brand or this brand doesn't use them, and then you get told they use auto alpha, so you don't actually see it. But if you would open up your HUD, you would see that there's some spots there that are alpha'd out for you because it's automatic. And then when you take your clothes off, they go right back, so you don't even know. You don't have to futz with it, and it's all good. That's for your benefit, and they fit amazingly. But don't go telling somebody that they don't know what they're doing because you have to use an alpha HUD. Like, that's total and complete nonsense, and I need everybody to stop doing that, please. So body sizes. There is a lot of Maitreya exclusive. A lot. Not a lot. I don't know how to say it, okay? There is a vast amount of creators that make for Maitreya. There are lots that make for Slink. And there are some that make for Belleza. Now, like I said, when I first got my body, I bought Maitreya. At the time, it was either that one or Slink Physique, and I didn't really care for Slink Physique because it didn't curve the way that I wanted it to. But shortly, like very shortly after I got the Maitreya body, Sidian started promoting for the release of Hourglass, and I was like, oh man, I wish I would have waited. I had no intention of having more than one body, but then Hourglass came out. You know what? I had TMP, but it was the free one, and then I had the feet because I helped a friend of mine test shoes back in the day when TMP was still a thing. But so I got Hourglass, and oh my god, I'm getting tongue-tied. So I got the demo, and I wasn't gonna buy it, but I just wanted to see it, and I loved it. It's so curvaceous, and my numbers on Maitreya had to be taken way down because, like, while I have a 65 on my butt for Maitreya, I had to take it down to a 35 or a 40 for Hourglass to have the same effect. Like, obviously the bodies don't look identical, but I like to have the same sort of figure, and that's what I go for every time I buy a body. Every time I've gotten a body, I've gone on a mission to make the shape exactly how I want in all the face, and then the way that the body looks. It's what I like, and so therefore I keep doing it. So that's how I look, and that's how I want to look. So my friend gifted me the hourglass because I said I wasn't going to buy it, and she was like, no, you need it. So I ended up with the hourglass, and then I spent like 2 weeks making a shape for that. And I took so long because everybody that you get, the different sliders, they work a different way. They make a different impression. Like the body will move in a different manner. It's just like when you buy bento heads and you move the lips this way, and on some of them, like your top lip will move, but on some of them your eyebrows are moving too. Like it's just, it is what it is, and it's different for each one, and you have to figure out where the differences lie and what you can do to achieve what you want. And when you do, it's awesome. And so I did that, and then hourglass became my ride or die. I was always in hourglass, but then it became very frustrating to try and dress myself when it was very Maitreya centric. And yes, hourglass has a lot more people creating for it now, but it wasn't always like that. So I have a lot of stuff now, and yeah, there are some brands that will do all the sizes, like for instance, Blueberry does, I mean, even to the point where she was doing TMP for the longest, you know, just really hanging in there with it, and everybody else had long dropped it. But that's her brand, and that's what she chooses to do with her brand. You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to be like, well, why can't you do what she does? Well, everybody's not her. And that's where I think the issues lie. Is like, you want to get mad at somebody for being Maitreya exclusive, but maybe they're just one person. And maybe this is just a hobby for them. Maybe this isn't their job. Maybe there's not enough hours in the day. Maybe they like to sleep. And so they will do only one size, and that is what is best for their brand. You don't get to tell somebody else what to do with their brand. You can suggest it. Like, I would love if Erratic would do hourglass. Why? Because she makes beautiful lingerie. Beautiful. I can only wear it if I switch to my Maitreya body, and I don't do that very often. I have it on now, but generally the only time I put it on is when Luxbox drops, because everything in Luxbox is made for Maitreya. Yes, some of the brands have other sizes as well, but you know, every single one of them does do Maitreya, and so therefore it's the smartest thing for me to do in order to try everything on, you know, at the same time, because then I'll have to switch. And you know what? It's annoying to switch bodies, honestly, because you have to go in there and you have to get the body, make sure the alpha's on, you have to get the utility HUD, and you have to switch shapes because this one won't work with this. It won't look the same as how I like it. So I have a shape for each of the bodies that I made myself. And then you have to, you know, get your hands and feet together and make sure your skin is, well, you know, my skin is usually matching because I've been in Glam Affair Jamaica for a while now. Even before Mesh Bodies, I had a lot of that, you know. And when I used the Catwa head, I actually tinkered with other skins, and there are beautiful skins out there, but Glam Affair makes some of my favorite faces. So then when the BSL bodies got updated, I tried them, and I really liked Freya. I think Freya is really cool for people that like to be thick, or just bigger. Generally, it's easier to make yourself chunky in Freya, so if you like that, then do that. Like I said, it's basically the same thing, but it's a little bit thicker. So like I said, I like the same type of body in all my But I haven't worn it in a long time, and the reason why is because only 2 or 3 of the brands that I wear consistently actually make belleza stuff. And I don't want to be about that life again, scrounging to find something, wearing the same stuff all the time, because you know, all the stuff that's coming out is not for the body that I wear. It's a choice, you know. You can choose to stay in that body and not have as much stuff as you would like, or you can choose to be a little flexible. It's a choice. You don't have to choose to be a little more flexible, but then you also can't come out your face. It's just not cool. So, back to my trade exclusives. Or not really back to, because that has lots to do with it. So, a lot of times people will get so up in arms about not being able to get something that they'll curse at or yell at or belittle a creator for not making it. Like, understand that a lot of these brands are just one person that's there doing everything that they need to do for their store. And it's not just going into Blender or Maya and making an outfit. It's not just rigging the outfit. It's not just texturing the outfit. It's not just one thing. It's a lot of steps. Creating is not simple. And then you add on top of that event deadlines, main store releases, if they do them. Some people don't have assistants because their store is not that big, and therefore they need to keep their money to themselves, so they don't have somebody to help them. Like, for instance, what I do, blogger management, store management, you know, helping with the group, you know, social media and all that stuff. Like, all of that takes time. So you add that to the fact that they have to make everything, upload everything, box everything, take pictures for ads, upload everything on Flickr, post everything, you know, wherever they can, be it Flickr, Facebook, or Twitter, all of them, store blog. If they have bloggers, get that out there. Make sure the bloggers are blogging it so that they get that traction. You know, if there's an event, if it's for an event, getting it set up on time, getting it set up so that people will look at it, making sure that the demo is sound, if there is one, interacting with their customers to make sure that what they're producing is what they like. So to have all that put on pause because somebody wants to rant and rave that they're not taking time out of their life to cater to exactly what you want. Does anybody really need that? I mean, would you stand for that if somebody turned around and did that to you? And a lot of these creators do. They do, and they try to be nice about it. And people just want to wild out. You really don't need to do all that. It's not that serious, and you do not need to be that pressed. If you want things that are not made for your body size, do you need to have a good hard look at what you're doing with your SL and decide whether or not you want to change it. It's not for them to change. If they want to build in the future, that's for them to decide to do with their brand. Your avatar is what you do with your SL, and you need to know that you can change it. So if you only wear, I don't know, Sling Physique, and somebody does my tray exclusives, and you want what they're making, then you have to decide. You have to go to Maitreya, get a demo, mess with the body, throw some demos on it, see if you can live with that. See if you can make it what you want and be happy with that. And if no, and you want to stay with Physique, go out there and find some stores that make stuff for them. Everybody gets caught up in the more popular stores. There's so many stores out there that are doing, maybe something that you want. And because it's not advertised as hard, because these people, maybe don't even know that they could be doing more to get out there. Or maybe it's just a hobby for them and they're not trying too hard. Whatever the point is of that. I mean, to go out there and actually find new stores is awesome. It's so cool. It's like Christmas. You go and you find something that other people don't even know about. And they'll be like, oh my God, like, where did you get that? And you get to tell these people about this gem that you found on the grid. Like, make it fun. Everything doesn't have to be so serious. As a matter of fact, very little should be so serious in Second Life. We're all here to have fun, to do what we do, and some of us to work, of course. But, do you want to add more stress to your life? Is it really that deep? I don't think that it is. And coming out your face and cussing at somebody for doing the best that they can or doing what's best for their brand, that's not cool. And I hope that anybody who has ever done that will think twice about ever doing it again. These are human beings, people that sometimes lose days of sleep to get things out in time or to reach a deadline. And you could argue, yeah, maybe they need to budget their time a little more wisely. But you know what? Maybe some of them do, because things happen. Mesh breaks, programs crash, textures don't work out the way that you need them to. You need to start over. Like, I've been through all of this myself, and my store is tiny. Imagine the bigger ones that are doing so many more releases. Like, it just needs to be a little bit more human. Show your heart, don't show your ass. Honestly, I just really... Maybe it's not for me to say. Maybe it's not for me to talk. But I've never come out my face at anybody for not making for Hourglass or for Freya. I'll just switch bodies. If I want it that bad, I will switch bodies. And I have made all three of them look exactly how I want. So I'm quite sure that if you really wanted to, you could try. And, oh, maybe I don't like the boobs on this one. Oh, maybe I don't like the ass on this one. There's always a way to make something work. You're not naked all the time, are you, right? So I'm quite sure that the clothes will help. You could stay how you are, and that's perfectly fine too. But those lips need to be a little more zipped. You just can't do it. I mean you can, because people do, but you really shouldn't. You really, really shouldn't. And I really feel really badly for creators when they get those IMs that are just like, rah, rah, you didn't do this, or you didn't do this in my size, or this is not right, and blah, blah, blah. Like, if someone were talking to you like that, you wouldn't have it. So maybe just try not to talk to other people like that. And, just saying things nicely helps. It lets people know that you're not there to bash them. You just want some help. And if they don't make your size, just suggest it to the future. Like, hey, if you ever get the chance to add on a size, I would love for you to make this, because this is the body that I use, and I think your creations are awesome. I think they're great. I think they're beautiful, and I would love to wear them. That's it. You do not have to be a jerk about it. And I hope that, the vast majority of you aren't. I hope. I don't know that for sure, because I can't crawl into your Second Life and see how you be talking to people. But anyway, that's all I have to say for right now, I guess. That's not true. I have a lot more I could say, to be honest, but I'm gonna cut it off already here, because I've been talking for a while. And yeah, I really hope that you all have beautiful second lives in whatever it is that you're doing. And take care. Bye.